So, all right.
All right, cool.
Yes. So we are. Let's see. Okay, here I am. All right, I see
Hello.
us here. Hello. All right, let me share in a group. In a group, the nourished soul. Share now. All right.
Our amazing technological goddess.
I know, except I don't see both of us
Oh,
on Facebook. It's, I think if you talk, does it go, I think it goes, it's going back and forth.
oh,
So
okay.
I don't know how to do it any differently, but
I think that'll work.
it is what it is. All right. So welcome and thanks for joining Lydia and I today. So I am NancyAnger, and an intuitive coach and a sound and energy healer. And this is Lydia, if you want to just introduce
I'm
yourself.
I'm Lydia Erickson, and I'm also a sound healer, and I work with light grid work in the auric fields, among other things. And I'm also an artist.
All of the things. So welcome to Sacred Transmissions, Enlighten Up Sound Healing Experience. We couldn't decide what to call it. It was a concert or a healing, but it's going to be an experience. So if you're not familiar, we're going to use sound codes, which we'll tell about in a minute. And if you're not familiar with that, we will tell you what that is. But our intention on this June 1st day, or maybe you're watching another day, but just to immerse yourself in a beautiful spring cleaning for the body, mind, and spirit with a light and sound code bath to gently wash away all that is ready to be released. And I hear a little
If
background noise. If anyone is watching, if you guys can mute yourself, just make sure you're on mute. Awesome. All right. So it will also awaken to all that's ready to be released, and awaken, illuminate new levels of joy, clarity, wisdom, and peace to light up your entire being. So, Lydia, you want
June.
to do what?
It's a good way to start June.
Totally is. Yes. I know. I just asked some client the other day when she came over to my house for a session. I was like, because she sees different people. I'm like, what do you come to me for? And she's like, you just really know how to clear energy. You know how to clear energy without having to go through every little emotion and every little trigger. And then after, I have these huge epiphanies. So hopefully some of that will come through today. And
Yeah.
you go ahead.
I was going to say, I think we both have the intention that we don't have to know what it is. We don't have to understand where it came from. If it's ready to go, it's ready to go.
Yes. And sometimes we will know what it is.
Yes.
Yes. So do you want to share about what are sound codes, Lydia?
So, sound codes are these beautiful melodies. Sometimes they're very simple and sometimes they can be a little bit more complex. But they're holding healing frequencies that our body and spirit and our entire system recognize. So it's like a language that speaks to us on a deeper level, and it unlocks the healing wisdom of our own beings to help us come back into more balance on many different levels. So if you can imagine, you're listening to your favorite song and you can feel it with your whole body. Sometimes you'll even feel chills all over your body. And this is just from the power of music, right? And the effect that it has on your emotions. And then imagine that, infused with the intention of healing. I mean, we all know the power of music, so this is just one step further or deeper into that.
Yeah. Well, music with words, the words can trigger things in us, right? So the thing with sound codes, it's not words. It doesn't have words that trigger, and it actually works So something that has words, we can have a feeling of it, right? With a music that has words, but it will bring kind of the same feeling. Like every time I hear that song, I think of this, it kind of reminds us of the same thing. But sound codes have this powerful energy that are melodies that actually have the ability to go deeper than like the thinking mind. They bypass and they go into the subconscious, and our energy field responds. So it's way beyond, like, our mind hears but doesn't try to sit there. It's not like the logical mind can't figure it out. So the sound codes affect physical body, mental body, spiritual, emotional, like your whole energetic body. And they always know. I always kind of say it's like that. They used to have this lipstick that was color changing according to you, and it's like sound codes are the same. They respond to your energy field.
Yeah.
So, so Lydia, so it's kind of interesting that that I am like on live singing. If you asked me 10 years ago and told me I was going to be using my voice to sing as a healer, I would have laughed. So while I liked singing, most people told me in my life, especially my younger life, that I couldn't carry a tune. And I believed them. But it's, then I came across sound codes in 2013. And they really made a huge difference in my life, particularly for a physical issue that I had in my neck, in my upper back. And little did I know, a year later, I would start singing them, and would I take a training with Lydia at her house with a teacher from Germany. So, but yeah, so I didn't know I was gonna use sound codes or sing. And how about you, Lydia?
Well, it's funny because I had been having these experiences since I was a kid. I would get these songs. I would go out and be running around in the wind, or I would climb a tree, and these beautiful songs would come to me, and I would just sing them to myself. And I always felt that there was this presence there in that, but I never shared it with anyone. It just felt really special and sacred. And also, I just didn't want to tell people I'm getting songs from trees. Um, and I realized, and this, it continued, it's continued for my whole life. And when I met Elizabeth, I realized that this was something that's innate, and that all of us have this ability to heal through our voice. And I was actually, I would, experience a lot of peace from these songs. So, what I've experienced, especially with the people that I've worked with over the years, is that it's on the emotional level, it's incredibly, it's hard to describe, actually, like the level of peace that comes.
Well, we're going to give people that chance, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to do two things today. We're going to sing a sound bath in a little bit, but first we're actually going to teach you, or we're going to sing a code called State of Love. Love is love is who we are. Love is who we are ultimately. And when we move away from that, which we do often on a regular basis, most of us, that's when things feel discordant, out of harmony in many different ways. So the state of love is a very powerful code. Lydia and I are gonna sing it, and then we're gonna invite you guys. We're gonna invite you to feel what you're feeling as we're singing. And then we're going to invite you to join in. We're not going to all be able to hear each other. I think even if Lydia and I are singing, you'll probably hear one of us. It might cut back and forth a little bit because I'm pretty sure that's how Zoom does it. But we're going to invite you as well to join in and sing with us. Now, the beauty of sound codes is you can sing them out loud, or you can sing them silently to yourself, and they are equally as powerful. So I found sometimes in the morning, I wake up and I want to start singing sound codes. And I'm pretty sure my husband next to me would not be impressed if I start singing sound codes in the middle of the bed when he's still sleeping. And there are other times when I'm just somewhere and there's people around and I'm not just going to start singing sound codes so I can sing them to myself, and they're just as powerful. But it is beautiful to listen to them. So the sound is vibration, and vibration is a very physical thing. And when I like, if you look at, sound is used for so many things. Even I have a daughter that is 9 months pregnant right now, and she's gotten so many ultrasounds. Like, sound is amazing beyond what we even can know, I think. So do you want
Yeah.
to
And
talk about state of love and start it?
yeah, so this particular code, I love this code because it was the first one we learned from Elizabeth, and it's balm for your heart, for your spirit, for all of you, but it's also soothing for pain, and it helps your muscles relax, and the list goes on and on. There are actually a lot more things that we use it for, but I'll stop there and just say it's the sound code that when my kids scrape their knees and want comfort, they'll come, "Mama, Mama, sing the code for me," and yeah, so
I
I
love
just
that.
love that.
Yeah, well, I just shared on a story on Well, I shared it in my constant contact, but I linked it on Facebook about a difficult legal situation that I had that came up in the middle of like the pandemic stuff. And after I went through all my, then I said, okay, let's see, you don't fight fire with fire for real, because it just creates a bonfire. But if you send love, and love is a healing bomb, and I just sent love to the situation, sang the sound code to the situation and to the person that felt like the person that was at the center of things. And it really, and I did some actual physical actions as well. I didn't just sit at home and sing a song and hope everything would resolve totally from that, but it made a huge difference. And then I did, I took a few actions, but every time I thought or something came up and it felt negative, I just kept singing, like, and sending love to it. And it resolved very quickly in a beautiful way. It was very empowering. I think it was almost a gift, actually, to be able to realize how powerful to transmute something like that.
Yeah, that's such an awesome story.
Yes. All right. So we're gonna sing it.
Yeah, so take a moment and just get really comfortable, and any little shifts or micro movements or big movements that you need to just feel really easy. And just notice your body. How are you feeling? Your emotional state. Just how are you right now? And just tune into wherever you connect most deeply to the core of you. It might be your heart, it might be the crown of your head, it might be somewhere else, but just find a place to tune in and anchor in. And we're going to sing for you.
Just notice whatever you notice. And if you're thinking to yourself, maybe I don't know if I'm noticing anything, there is no right or wrong way to experience the sound codes, and they are different every single time. Just breathe, take a few breaths in and out. And then we're going to invite you. We're going to sing a few more times and invite you if you'd like to join in. And as we said, you can join either out loud or silently internally, whichever you want, like imagining that you're singing along or else using your voice, and just be very open. So one really cool thing about sound codes, so my voice has gotten way better since I started singing them. Sound codes actually help develop your voice, and hello, fifth chakra is really as well, which is a beautiful thing. So it gets better the more you sing.
Yes.
So, all right. So we're going to invite you to join in with us. Just take that in. Notice if you're feeling it somewhere in your body, or maybe you see a color, or maybe a vibration, or maybe you feel a pain somewhere. I mean, things can show up in a lot of different ways, and none of them are wrong and none of them are right. They're all perfect, actually. So just noticing what you notice. And if anyone wants to share, either in the comments, if you're watching on Facebook, or later on YouTube, or if you're watching on Zoom, you can comment in the chat box if you want to share anything there as well.
And you might notice that, a few minutes later after we say goodbye, you might notice changes happening with your system a little bit later on. Sometimes it's really subtle.
Yes. And that's the beautiful thing. Like when I do sound codes for people, and then later on I notice and I'll say, hey, and they're like, oh yeah, because sometimes we notice when there's a problem, but when things are better, we don't always notice, right? We forget that something changed. So
that's always a good sign, because you know that it's changed so much you can't remember the way it was before, right?
Yes. So we just had a new moon. Is it yesterday? Yeah, this week. I don't know if it was Monday. Anyway, we just had a new moon, and a new moon is a great time to add in like the spring cleaning or the new. And so if something comes to mind that you want to set an intention towards cleaning and clearing or shifting, totally fine, but hold it very loosely and lightly, because we are creator beings, and we're not here to recreate the same thing we already created before. We're here to, like, I'm seeing us like diving into this stream of flow and being like, woohoo, what's coming next around the bend. So being really open to that. But the sound codes, I feel like, bring it and do it in such a gentle way. And when you feel like that sense of peace, that's like, oh yeah, hello, this is who you really are. All right, so let's see if I see any comments. I saw Steph, and I see a couple people watching. Hello. All right, so I don't think I see anything in the chat box. Totally cool. So we're gonna start to step into the sound bath. So that was kind of already a mini sound bath. So I used to say, I taught yoga for many years, and I said a yoga practice can be just one yoga pose. So a sound bath could actually be one sound, over and over. So powerful. But we're going to give you some more. So we're going to bring some. So the first sound codes that Lydia and I learned was for Atlas balancing. And that is now called Dao Ta. And Dao Ta means, Tao is similar to Tao, which means the universal state of being in the unmanifested form. that will express itself through ta, which means universal sound. Hi, Kathy. So we're going to so we're going to sing some of those codes, and we're also going to sing some of our own codes, Lydia and I. Since then we also have some of the codes of our own, so we're going to kind of go back and forth. But the first code I'm going to sing is Dao Ta, which kind of welcomes in the sound code beings, as Elizabeth would call them, or the sound code support people, right? And then all is well, which is one of my codes, and then easy water hydration. So sound, we're about like say 70%, 70 to 75% water. So sound is very, and it's really beneficial to receive sound codes. To be hydrated is really extra helpful for any kind of healing, light or any kind of healing. Yeah. So the easy water hydration code is a code that actually there's, you probably know the 3 states of water from school. There you go. Water, solid, liquid, and gas. Well, the easy water hydration code, there was a gentleman named Gerald Pollack. I think that's his name, Gerard or Gerald. You can look him up on YouTube, but it's a little too heady for me of like his explanation, but it's actually really cool. And it actually changes the water in like your water that you're drinking or the cells of your body. So it's more, I want to say viscous. Do you have anything to add to that, Lydia?
Yeah, it's almost in between the solid and the liquid state, but it actually makes your body function more easily. Yes.
Perfect. That's all you need to know, right? So, all right. So is there anything you want to, maybe any other codes you want to highlight now before we start, or do you want to just kind of sing through them?
Well, I was just going to share that because this is a spring cleaning, when we think of spring cleaning, a lot of the time we think of cleaning our house, right? Clean out the basement, clean out the attic, clean out all the rooms. And in that, sense of cleaning, we have our own floors. I like to think of them as floors of all of our chakras. Mm-hmm. And so we're also going to include chakra codes from a couple of our different modalities, Nancy's Mayokoto-sas, and mine is called Star Points Returning. Mm-hmm. And so we decided not to announce each one as we went through, just so you can have the experience as you go through it, but have fun with it and see where you're noticing sensations, and you might not, but just be open to the possibility that you're feeling something in a certain area of your body. Yes,
and if you have water, I invite you to take a sip. Thanks for the love heart shower. Yeah, so if you have water, take a sip. So, all right.
And put your bottle near the speaker.
There you go. Yeah, you can put your bottle near the speaker, or you can use your intention. So take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, just close your eyes and drop down into your heart. Dao ta, dao ta, dao ta. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee, ooh-wee. Ia-oa, ia-oa, oa. Ia-oa, ia-oa, oa. Ia-oa, ia-oa, oa.
Ai, 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 ai,
Lun. Lum. Lum. Vam. Vamo.
Biha, 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 oh. 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 Bayahu, ahu. Bayahu, ahu. Bayahu, ahu.
Ayali, 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 ayali. Oh, oh, ayali, ayali, ayali. Ayali, ayali, ayali. Oh, oh. Ah, ah, hey, hey, ram, 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 yum, 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 yum.
Iyo, ah, auieu. Iyo, ah, auieu. Iyo, ah, auieu.
Hum, shum, shum.
I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, oh. Do sa, do sa, him, him, him. 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 Tili hua nea hei, tili hua nea hei, tili hua nea hei, do. Tili hua nea hei, tili hua nea hei, tili hua nea hei, do.
Aum, 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 Aum. Awen, 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 Awen.
Baila, 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 oh amaneo, oh amaneo. Baila, 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 oh amaneo, oh amaneo. Baila, 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 oh amaneo, oh amaneo. Do ka hono, do ka hono, do ka hono.
So you're going to still be receiving these codes. They're probably still landing. They're going to keep landing for a while. And some of the last codes that we sang, one of them is the conclusion. And part of it I sang 7 times, and it's for the front, in front of you, in back, to the left, the right, above, below, and within. And it's calling the sound codes to keep working for as long as it's in your highest, for them to keep doing their work. And so that energy is staying in your field. And it's, of course, strongest now. And then over time, it kind of fades. Each time you actually listen to sound codes, your body, like it builds in a way. It's more the benefits build. It's like the benefits increase.
Yeah, it's like you're taking them in, so your system already knows this particular one. So when you receive it again, that remembrance comes back up.
You are welcome. Yes.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Yes, you're welcome for the experience. So if anyone wants to share anything, if you want to post in the chat, or if you're on Facebook online, if you want, we'd both love to hear your experience. I know I'm like, whoo, this is good. Like this is,
Yeah,
it's like it's powerful to do them on your own or with another person, but I love even the experience when you come together, as a group, as that group intention. So whether you're in this group watching this later on, or in this group right now watching in this live now moment, it is equally as powerful.
yeah. And I just wanted to add one of the sound codes that was mixed in there at the end is also, it's called permeable barrier. So it's creating through song that healthy boundary. So you're able to let in what you need and not to let in what you don't need. So it's that gentle sense of your definition of your space, where you're receiving what you need and giving out what you need to, but not completely exposed.
Yes, beautiful. So, as we said, drink plenty of water, and also, so the song "State of Love" that we sang in the beginning, as Lydia and we both said, it's such a powerful code, and so this Saturday, which is what day are we on? Wednesday. In a couple days, Lydia and I are teaching an online training of it's called Sacred Transmission Wings of Light. It's 16 of the universal sound codes that are part of the Atlas in Balance, but they're also that can be used in and of themselves for animals, for yourself, for people, other people. You can use them if you are a healer, if you have a healing practice, or if you want to have one, they can be used for that as well. So if you're interested in that, and as we said earlier, you don't need to be a singer, you don't need to know how to even read music or anything like that, but if that's something that you're interested, I think I posted the link above when we went live. I'll post it below as well. But Lydia and I, so there's 16 sound codes that you would get attuned to, including the State of Love, and some of them other ones that we sang, the Easy Water Hydration. And Lydia and I are also giving an extra bonus of 2 sound codes. One of them is her permeable barrier, which I can't even say it, which she shared. And the other one is my sound code it's clearing and anchoring. And it actually, it's like at the end of any healing or anything that you're doing, it clears other people's energy, ancestral karma, and anchors the healing in. It's like a power code.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa. As I said, sometimes just like one code can do a lot. So if people are interested and you register by Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time, you will get those 2 extra as a bonus. It doesn't say it on the website, but that's what we are gifting, that extra
Special gift. Yeah.
Yes, the special gift. Yeah. So let's see if anybody put any questions. Oh, Ramandeep. Hi, Ramandeep. All right. So let's see. I see Steph, Kathy, Julian. Hi, Ramandeep. Thank you. And thanks for people that hopped on to the Zoom as well. And if anybody has a question, or you're watching this later, or feel free to, well, you can't pop a question in the chat later if you're on Zoom, but you can pop it on Facebook. The replay, I'm going to put it on YouTube. It's also at my public page. I think, Lydia, you're probably going to share it as well. So
yes. Yeah, probably on Meetup.
Yes. So, but yeah, so thanks for joining us. We hope it was helpful. We would love, thank you. I got full body chills. Ooh, I love that.
So
Yes.
great.
Ooh, I'm getting them now. I call them truth bumps, right? When you get that full. So my little story, so sound codes, my little story of how I ended up doing them, like very quick. So I had my Atlas bounce through sound codes, and it made a huge difference. Like I actually was 4 months later, I felt better. I could hold my posture. And 4 months later, I went to the doctors and I measured a half inch taller. She's like, you don't get taller at your age. She said, your neck must have just straightened out. That's exactly. So like, so about a little bit less than a year after I had that, Lydia ended up inviting Elizabeth and had a sound codes training at her house. And I went to this little mini concert and I listened and I was like, oh, I think I'm supposed to do this. Maybe I'll take the class in the fall. This was March of 2014. And Elizabeth she's from Germany. She was going to be she was going to be going to California about 10 days after she left Lydia's in training there. And I went home and I went to bed and I woke up in the morning and I said, oh, I'm going to California. So after Elizabeth did the training right in my town, right in my state, which I didn't take it there, I went to California like a week, 10 days later, and I took it in California. So your soul, some part of you knows. So if you're like me and you're like, I'm not a singer, but something is telling me I'm supposed to do this, we would love to have you join.
Yeah.
Or if you are a singer and you're like, I want this, I want to know more, I want to experience the sound codes, it's really a great value too. I was thinking earlier, like when Lydia and I took the full Atlas Bounce training, which included that was like what, 8 years ago. It was almost
Yeah.
$3,000. So getting like 16, potentially 18 sound codes for like a couple $100 is like amazing. So anyway, if you guys are interested, we'd love to have you. And also, if you can't make it live, you will get the recording if you sign up for it. So anything else you want to add, Lydia?
Well, just that it definitely seems to be coming out more and more, the healing power of sound, and I do feel like I kind of want to just say again that trust your body's response, your intuition, your whatever feeling you have right now, from not from us or anything that we're telling you necessarily, but from what you're feeling from experiencing the sound codes. And if that draws you to it, that's your call.
Yes. And like I said, it can be used on animals or people, yourself or other people, or for other for situations. You can use it for situations. So Kathy said, thank you, really nice feeling, very good.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah, yeah. So we appreciate your words and your kindness and your coming and showing up. So it's a lot nicer when you have someone listening when you're when you're
Yeah.
singing.
Yeah,
But
you all add to it. Even if you're just receiving, you're definitely adding a lot to the
yes.
experience.
All right. So thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful rest of your day, night, whenever you're watching. And,
Yeah, and happy June. Happy summertime coming.
yes. All right. So I need to just get out of the whole thing. Maybe not. All right. I'm just going to end it.